PK here for PK's Retro Reviews. Today I'm here to talk about a really strange game I found. Everyone has heard of Super Mario Land for the Game Boy. Probably even heard of Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins. I've never heard in my entire life of Super Mario Land 7. I have no idea where this came from. I even looked on the internet, and the internet doesn't have anything about this game. What I can do is play it and review it. Rather than using the usual suspects, like maybe Game Boy Advanced SP, a Game Boy, or a Game Boy Color, I will be using the Super Game Boy. To me, it's the most eye-appealing and visually stimulating thing you can use to review a Game Boy game.
So let's find out what Super Mario 7 is. Game Boy Gallery? This is the Japanese version of Game & Watch Gallery. Game & Watch Gallery is basically 4 Game & Watch games all in one. You got 4 games. We got Manhole, Fire, Octopus, and Oil Panic. Let's play Manhole first. If I were actually using the Game Boy, it would show the actual Game Boy instead of the Super NES controller. Smart like that. In Manhole, you play as Yoshi, and the object of the game is to ensure that Toad and other characters don't fall down the manhole. Pretty simple title. Like any other Game & Watch game, it gets harder as you go along. It's much harder, actually. You'll notice that DK Jr. moves at a different speed than Toad. There is even a classic version of Manhole starring Mr. Game & Watch, who went on to be a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl. Next up is Fire. You are Mario and Luigi, and the princess's castle is on fire, and everyone is jumping out, and you have to guide them to safety. Each character falls at different speeds. Just like Yoshi falls at a different speed, so does DK Jr. There's even little Yoshi eggs, and sometimes they have different things in them. Like this time they have a star in them. And like any other Game & Watch game, it progressively does get harder over time. It's, again, all about scoring points. And there's a classic version. Instead of a castle, a building. Instead of a mushroom cart, an ambulance. Up next, Octopus. Considered to be one of the most complex Game & Watch games ever. The object of the game is to get the treasure from the sunken ship at the bottom of the ocean without getting caught by the octopus. In this version, you're Mario, and Peach is on the boat with you. Guess what? There's a classic version as well. Octopus was also released on Game & Watch Gallery 4 and Game & Watch Collection 2. Up next is Oil Panic, one of the first Game & Watch handhelds to have a dual screen. The basic premise of the game is that Bowser is on top of the castle and you have to stop him from dropping oil in the fire. And there's a classic version. Fun fact, Mr. Game & Watch actually has an attack in Super Smash Bros. Called Oil Panic.
There you have it, folks. Game & Watch Gallery for the Game Boy, or Game Boy Gallery in Japan. Why this particular cartridge I picked up says Mario Land 7 is beyond me. I can only think of 2 possible scenarios. Someone found an import Game Boy Gallery game and made their own custom label for it, or 2, this is some type of counterfeit version from the Far East. If you have a different answer, please comment below. Game & Watch Gallery isn't a good game on a console per se, but it is a wonderful game on the go. I give it 4 out of 5 octopi. It has diverse gameplay and simple classic fun. It's made for the Game Boy. It's also available for download on the 3DS Virtual Console. That's all the time I have for today. Keep on gaming. Please like and subscribe and comment.